My AI just changed. It just buzzed the front gate. Thank God you came. How many more days could I wait? I made plans with you, and I won't let them fall through. I think I lie for you.
Hello, it's me. I was wondering if y'all gonna come in and just listen to me for a little about everything. I know a lot of people upset, but we gonna get into it. Hello, good morning. All right, what's up, y'all? All right. I want to have this conversation because I feel like I do have people who have a strong faith in God. I do have some people that, have a faith in God, but not so religious, right? So we're gonna get into some things now. This was a topic of conversation. We're gonna talk about Maverick City, okay? Maverick City is a group. They are a Christian music group. Okay. Now, I thought they were part of the gospel trend, but they are a Christian group. Okay. Now, Maverick City had came out. Let me get the information because I don't want to say nothing wrong. And I liked their music. I love their music. Okay, I everything they came out with is very, they have the song Gyra. God will work it out. They have a song with Kurt Franklin. Firm Foundation is one of my favorite songs by them. One of the songs that helped me through a lot. But they do have a song with Kurt Franklin as well. I think they have two songs. Let me see if I can pull up that song. Um, they have Kingdom is the song they have with Kurt Franklin. And they've been out for quite some time. I believe they came out 2019, 2020, during, the pandemic and everything. And it's basically a group of people. It's just, a group of different people, different races that you have together and, that are singing, songs of glory, right? Well, Maverick City, Maverick City has been in a lot of backlash. Their first backlash was with when they had the song with I believe it was Kurt Franklin Gorilla, and she won a gospel award. Now, it started a controversy of, oh, well, oh, why are they doing it with a rapper? Why would she win? And I talk about God and this and that, right? Okay, but then they faced another controversy that a lot of church people, we're gonna be honest, it is gonna get a little political, and whatever your choice is your choice. But certain church members do not approve because of an interview that their part manager said. Now this is Norman Gamify? Norman, okay, we're just gonna say Norman, okay? I'm gonna say all that word. Norman has worked with a lot of artists, including Tamar Braxton. Thank you, Terry. He has worked with a lot of artists, including Tamar Braxton. And he worked with her for a while. And then he also um he said some things. He said some things. And Norman basically oh my God, what is that guy that was a gospel singer, which is I think his cousin-in-law that performed at the new and he got a lot of flack. And y'all, we finna get into it. And he said that Norman said he voted for Trump. He said he voted for Trump. He sure did, because he made sure he got a PPP loan. Did y'all do what y'all do there? I'm trying to see who it is, y'all. Because he was there. I'm sorry, y'all, my allergies. But it was a singer that we gonna get into it. We gonna play the video that he said that he told the pastor that if it wasn't good, he was gonna let him do it for Trump, whatever. But Norman is very outspoken. Norman is, from what I hear from people, very outspoken. He's more in your face. In your face. So we gonna do a reaction. Child, we gonna do a reaction. So he did a interview, right? Let me go to it now. Y'all, excuse me, I have brain fart, okay? I have brain fart today. It's bad, but we gonna make it through. He did it with Isaac Curry. Now, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna react to it together. Okay. Hold on, let me share my screen. We're gonna watch it together. I want y'all to share y'all opinions in the comments.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it.
All right, before we go into it, Norman basically said that gospel music is overrated and all that hooping and hollering is doing too much. That's what he said. It is mostly struggle. Now, a lot of people agreed, but then they agreed that he's trying to push Christian music, which we're going to talk about that. CMM, I believe they call it, where it's a culture of people singing, praising, and, you know, these songs coming together for Christ, and it's not about struggle. And he said that, you know, his parents were doctors. He didn't have to struggle. And I want to say this to the Black community. Just because your new era of generation became successful, them struggles made your parents who they are. Just because you sit in the struggle, people to understand you don't have to struggle long. Because I'm seeing I just want to do a side note. I see there's some conversations with the Polo, Ralph Lauren, and this and that. Let me tell you something. I was reading Tina Knowles' book, we're going to put it that way. And she say how she was struggling growing up, and her children, when she got married to her husband, the father of her children, ex-husband, Matthew, and they got together, become successful, it made a way for their children to become successful because those struggles made them who they are. And they, even though they have it, they go back to those memories of how things, you know what I'm saying, just a home is. Tina realized, she say her mother told her, y'all got to go read her book, it's very good. She say her mother told her that she should get married and be a seamstress, and Tina said no. She didn't just want to be a seamstress and didn't want to just be a housewife. She wanted more. And that's why she's successful in where she is now, and it pushed her children. Just because some people are comfortable in their struggle, I want to tell the people that's comfortable in their struggle, you might be comfortable in yours, but remember there's people coming after you that won't be. And those struggles make you who you are. So for him to say, oh, well, my parents didn't struggle, so, you know, never would have made it, wouldn't hit me like it hit my grandma. Sir, your grandma went through the struggle and she pushed her children out of it. It's okay. Everybody's not going to be the struggle long, okay? It's just not going to happen. So we're going to go into it.
Meet Base 44.
First off, they done get that boy show. Some of y'all like, hell no. But heaven only knows what he gon' say. On any given day, it might be cray. Still gonna be at church on Sunday, yeah.
All right,
EEG, and WME. Grounded in faith and driven by innovation, Norman is reshaping the future of inspirational music on a global stage.
Let me read the disclaimer. Thank you, Terry. Good morning. Under Section 107 of the Copyright 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Okay, for fair use is a use prohibited by copyright statuses that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, personal user tips the balance of favor and fair use. So we're going to have a conversation and let's get into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's only one, and he's a man. Welcome to the Isaac Career Show, Norman Gyamfi! My man!
Hey, they wrote a good bio, bro.
Norman, thank you for pulling up, man.
Anything, I wasn't missing for the world.
Bro, you're a busy man. You're all over the world. You're changing people's lives. And I called up, first of all, Norman don't answer the phone much, and he don't respond to texts. I sent him one text and said, I'm doing my podcast, bro. I would love for you to pull up. He said, yep. That was all he said. Then I hit him a few legs. Hey, you still gonna do it? Yep. I hit him again. I said, hey, bro, it's coming up. Send me the info. I said, I need your bio. He didn't reply. Then I hit him again. Norman, I need your bio. He got his people on the phone. Hey, send Ike the bio. I said, we good? Yep. And he's in the building, man. I'm so happy to have you, man. It's an honor. I don't take it lightly. I know your time is valuable. My team is so grateful. Everybody was like, y'all think he gonna come? It was almost like they were scared.
Monday.com is the best AI for work. And here's why. Let me show you some of the mind-blowing things that...
I was scared, Norman.
I'm coming.
I
don't do it. You know me, man. I'm a behind-the-scenes guy. I don't do a lot. I don't talk a lot either. So a lot of people don't even know who I am. But, if you ask me to do something, I'm going to do it.
He always
do anything for me.
He's always come through for me. Man, let me see. Let's see where we begin. There's so much going on. Can you take us back to the beginning? How did you even get started in the music business?
Well, that's a good one. So I had just graduated Georgia Tech. I went into regular management consulting. But my sister married a gospel artist, Travis Green.
Yeah.
So
Dr. Travis and Jackie.
Yeah. So my sister is Dr. Jackie Green. My brother-in-law is Travis Green, or Pastor Travis Green, down at Forward City Church in Columbia, South Carolina. And so I knew what he did, but I didn't think it was no money in music. You know what I'm saying? Not in Christian music.
Right.
You feel me? So I was doing my thing. They was doing their thing. And I just would notice little things and I would speak on it. But at one of his birthdays in 2023, I said, I had prayed and I said when he started his church, I was going to be there to help him start it. And he was literally starting his church and I had got a word from God in the shower. He was like, you need to go to Columbia. And so I called Travis and I was like, yo, man, what you got going on? He's like, bro, crazy. We start the church this weekend. Y'all should come down. So I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I just got a promotion at work and everything. So I started driving from Atlanta to Columbia every day. So we would drive 7 hours to go to church in Columbia, but we lived in Atlanta.
Right.
And so we did that for probably a year. Me and my wife, we would go to 6 a.m. prayer, everything. We leave at 2 o'clock in the morning, get up at 6 a.m. prayer, all of that. So that's kind of that show. I guess that kind of showed him how dedicated of a type person that I was.
Sure.
But I think at the time he was managed by somebody named, he was managed by Monica Bacon at the time, and he had a song called Made Away.
Right.
But they didn't have a video for it. And I called him, I was like, why you don't got a music video? He's like, what you mean? I was like, why don't you have a music video? It's your biggest song. He's like, I don't know, the label hasn't done one. So we called a meeting, went to the label. This is when I met Phil, Gabby, and all of them.
Right.
It's my first meeting that we flew to Nashville. I had hired this attorney named Denise Brown Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
And we went down to the label. I ain't say nothing the whole meeting. I just sat in the meeting and listened. Let everybody else talk. Monica was talking about this tour she was doing called the Worship Tour. It didn't end up happening. But it didn't end up happening. Y'all didn't have people at that time that knew what they was doing. But so I sit in the meeting, and so I was started thinking. I really got an understanding of what the lack was in the gospel industry. So from there, what was. I started working at the church pretty much full time. I did it I did it as a volunteer for a year. Okay. You know what I mean? Because me and my wife, we had done well for ourselves. My wife still had a job, and that's kind of the start, the genesis of me coming into music was my brother-in-law Travis, and working at the church.
I'll never forget you managing Travis once you took over.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest things y'all did was Travis did Donald Trump's inauguration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I had y'all on mute. That's who it was, Travis. First of all, how you gonna say what somebody when able? Like I say, Norman is in your face, so I'm just telling you now. Be prepared, cause y'all gonna be like, "What?" Just be prepared. But he gonna explain about the inauguration.
First term.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis caught some flack,
Mm-hmm.
but he came out unscathed. He came
Mm-hmm.
out no scars from it.
Mm-hmm.
His career took off, and you were behind the scenes and you navigated that thing. How did you know, like, this is what we're gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how we're gonna handle the backlash?
So I bet a lot of people don't know, but back then I did everything for Travis. So I managed his socials, I was his assistant, I did everything. So it was twofold. One, can't take glory away from God.
Right.
God, he prayed about it, God told him to do it. So when God give you a word, whatever outcome from that happens, it's good.
Right.
So if he lost everything, he was intended to lose everything, right? But clearly that's not what happened. So we didn't do it. And God told me one thing. When I got the car.
Watch what he say. That is what happened. So we gonna get into it. But I'm gonna have to, I know y'all gonna be like, why she keep pausing? I have to under YouTube guidelines, okay? My thing is, a lot of people are saying, I'll be on TikTok and I see a lot of people say God wanted him in there. What y'all gotta understand, if you want to say gospel music is a struggle, you can't do that and put somebody there and say God wanted y'all to put somebody there for the struggle. We gotta, if we can't have that, we gotta have an understanding. God love us so much. Do y'all really believe God wants you to struggle and be sad and be this and that? Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that? Yes, he wants you to wait. Yes, he's working on something, but do you really believe that God would put somebody in here that do so much chaos? Well, he put them because this and that. Good morning. Okay, shout out to girl. Good morning. Have fun. I know it's gonna be a headache, girl. I know, girl. Try to have some fun. I know it's gonna be a headache. But good morning. But God ain't gonna let you struggle. God always give blessings. So why would God put someone that reign chaos? And then they'll say, oh, for them to turn to God. But how do you know that's what God wanted? A lot of people put God in things, and I don't feel like that is of God. And I think people need to ask God, is this really what you want? Is this really what you want me to do? Order my steps to do that. Don't just say, well, God, order my steps to do that. And sit down and think about it. But listen to what he said and what he does, child. That is I'm like, what? Just listen.
From the White House. I was actually on the toilet at my house. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. I was on the toilet. He said, do not negotiate the rate. He said, whatever they offer you, just say yes. And I'm a shrewd. So we said,
absolutely.
It's like asking me not to think. Like, he told me not to negotiate. So when you see all these stories about this person got $1 million, this person got 100, this person getting 900,000, all this, I'm sitting here like, we just got 20 grand. That was what Travis was going out for.
Excuse me? Say what now? 20 who? Child, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That ain't enough.
Yeah. We did it for his normal rate, his normal fee, normal travel. That's it. We didn't get paid a whole lot to do the inauguration. We literally, God told me not to negotiate. They literally, this is what they said to me. What do you typically go out for? And I was like, shoot, we go out for 20, 25,000. It's done. That was it. And so.
Hey, Hulu and Mayhem fans, listen. Upgrade to a bundle plan starting at only $1 per month more. And get all.
Listen, I love Martina.
I think because I listened and did what God said, that's why Travis ended up being unscathed. We did one.
No, it ain't. He finna tell y'all what else he did. No, it ain't. No, just wait on it.
Interview with TMZ.
Mhm.
That was it. He didn't do it to be famous. He did it because God sent him there.
Right.
And so I think a lot of people, and not to speak, because I know Chrisette been talking about why she got all the backlash and all that. I can't speak to her. I can't speak to why she went. I don't manage her. But at the time,
Chrisette Michelle, speaking of her, I was on Facebook and Chrisette Michelle posted her singing at a concert. I guess she was a guest for somebody. Chrisette Michelle comments it's bad. It's bad. It's not good, baby. It's people saying we still remember what you did 5 years ago, baby. You look good, you look nice, but you need to have a seat. But just wait.
I told him the black church is the most forgiving thing there is.
100%.
First off, everybody know I'm a Trump voter, regardless how y'all feel about that. So I was supportive of it anyway.
Okay.
And beyond that, he's the president.
Right.
So you honor the president. That's in the Bible. You honor the kings and queens of whoever they are. So I thought that for him, it was a thing to do because it was going to bring notice and attention to a space at that time.
Right.
We had, gospel was, it was doing its thing, but I thought it could go better. But also, I deleted every negative comment that ever came. So that he never saw a negative comment. He still to this day has never seen a negative comment. And I stayed up all night, probably 6 o'clock in the morning. I would delete every single negative comment that came through. This was before they had keywords. Now you can hide words.
Right.
This is before that. You couldn't hide nothing back there. You had to literally go delete them all. And so I think really and truly it broadened his audience.
Absolutely.
I think that was the beginning of what I call the brown worship or black worship.
Yeah.
You had songs like Made Away, Break Every Chain, You had You Deserve It. I think that kind of ushered in that next piece. But all in all, nobody was happy about it. The publicist at the label, she gave me an earful. Aaliyah, shout out to Aaliyah. She wasn't down with it. But for me, I thought it was something he should do.
They weren't happy at the label because he thinking, oh, this is strategy or something he should do. This gonna make him this and that. But okay, I understand that. And we're gonna be honest. Church now is starting to look, certain churches, not all, are starting to look like a business. So he's doing that, right? But the label is saying, hey, this is still a business. Like, this can go bad. I saw a black woman on TikTok at a church having praise and worship over the president. It's straying away from what it's supposed to be. Do you hear me? So you deleting comments for him to not see where he messed up is like making a choice for him.
I really did. I was one of the few people that thought, to a point, his pastor, when you in the pastoral realm, pastors have pastors. His pastor called him, and I was on the phone. We talk about this sometimes. His pastor was like, he was getting ready to go on stage. I said, if you're not going to tell him something from God, if it's something personal, then I'm not giving him the phone. He said, you're not going to give Travis the phone? I said, I'm not giving him the phone. So if you're going to disagree with God, I told him, I'm not going to give him the phone. I never let him get the phone. And we end up going to do the inauguration.
Oh, my God. You told Travis's pastor that.
Yeah, I did. God told me to say it. It wasn't for me. It was just like, there's moments. When in the Bible, I can't remember, I think it's John the Baptist's dad. And he kept speaking against his wife getting pregnant, and he muted him. He muted him. There's moments where even the best people have to stop talking. That was her husband. So
that's good. Y'all clap it up for that right there. That's a bar. There are times where you got to mute people because they will literally get in the way of you doing exactly what God told you to do.
Absolutely, because what God asks us to do don't sometimes look right.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? If I want this building to fall down, I tell us all to go walk outside around it 7 times. Y'all gonna look at me like I'm crazy, but that's how the wall of Jericho fell. You know what I'm saying? It looks crazy. He built the ark in a drought. You know what I mean? Like, it always gonna look crazy what God asks you to do, and you're not gonna have the supply for it. That's how you know it's him.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix.
Yo, that's so good, Norman. That's so good. And what was the turning point that you made when you knew that something different had to happen to resurrect or reshape the Christian/gospel industry?
I mean, I'm gonna be straight up. I knew it the first day. Y'all, it was stale.
Mm-hmm.
There was no infrastructure, I shall say. So when I looked at Christian music versus gospel music, everybody had a manager, not a homegirl, not an auntie. And everybody had an agent.
Right.
They didn't go church to church to church. They toured.
Right.
They had infrastructure. And so when I came in with Travis, he had Monica as his manager. He didn't have no agent. There was no touring opportunities. They was going church, and they was making good money going church to church, but I knew it wasn't sustainable.
Okay.
Because this is the thing about when you do church gigging. Churches only need you if their worship team sucks. And as time goes on, talent was increasing. Access to talent was increasing. So now a pastor can go on Instagram and see somebody that can sing, and why I can pay him $90,000 a year. Why I'm gonna keep paying people $25,000 every weekend? Right. When I can pay one dude to get up here, I can pay Todd once. He'll get up here and kill it every week. We're gonna put together an amazing worship team. I remember saying, this way of making money not gonna last. Because as churches went more towards worship music,
my bad, y'all. He started to look at it like a business. It wasn't faith. It was just a business. How can we make this money? How can we do this? How can we have this and that? And this is where Tasha Cobb did an interview, and she said that a lot of people, gospel music is changing into getting into with secular music because people are looking at it as a business. They're not looking at it as something to worship for the people, and they're looking at it like a business, and he's one of them.
And the pandemic showed me. Once everybody learned how to stream, it was over. Because now everybody needed good worship. Right. You had to entertain people at home. It never came back. The only church that still be bringing people is the church in Detroit, Triumph. That's it. That's the only church that still bring people. And I think he just likes it. He doesn't have to. He can hire anybody. So that's 9 services. That's a lot. But,
but they pay good, though.
They pay good.
They pay good.
But that's what I'm saying. So what I noticed in the marketplace was nobody was capturing content. Mm-hmm. So me and Travis had done this show in Africa. There was 1 million people there.
Yes. And the experience, right?
The experience. I literally said to him, bro, we should have captured this. He's like, what do you mean? I said, Travis, when I say to people, like right now I'm telling y'all, Travis performed in front of 1 million people. Everybody has a different idea in their mind what they look like. You probably see a room with 1,000. Some people literally see a room with 1,000 people and say, wow, that's a lot of people. Right. When you see 1 million people singing somebody's song, that's like when Chris Brown went to South Africa. He had 300,000, 100,000. Travis performed in front of 1 million people. I was the 1 million. That's crazy. 1 million people. And they were singing his songs word for word. I said, if we show this, people gonna think you larger than life. So we came up with this campaign called Travis Green World Tour. We took I hired Kayla Madonna. Y'all know Kayla Madonna. You know the red hair girl? You don't know Kayla? I don't know Kayla. She from Atlanta. She red has to take photographs all the time, photographer. Okay. So I hired her as a videographer. I said, you gotta learn how to do video. Okay. So Kayla was my first employee ever. So we took Kayla all around the world. They went to Dubai, we went to Antigua, Anguilla, we went to Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Lagos, South Africa. I took him everywhere. And we took a camera and I routed it like it was tour, put a flyer up called the Travis Green World Tour, and that was the start of my marketing company, the ICO Group. Yeah. So the ICO Group is really what I built to fix the holes I saw in gospel.
Got you.
That's what it was. It mainly was around content creation. There was no dealings when I started.
Right.
There was nobody in this space doing content. So we was the first people, we shot videos for every song, and we shot content wherever we went.
Yo, that's crazy. So let's go here. What was the transition like from going from Travis to Mav?
Okay, now that was crazy. You know. So Travis had been on this run. We had 5 Grammy nominations back to back, number one after number one. We had did sold out tours. And I think I had took on 2 more clients, JJ Harrison and Israel Houghton.
Okay.
By this point. And I think in any relationship, especially when you family, it becomes this navigation of egos. I'm the rising star exec, he the rising star artist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think in gospel for a long time, it was like one manager, one artist. So like Ty and Kelvin, or Kirk and Ron, or you knew when you seen somebody, you knew who their manager was. It was like freaking frat. That's how it was. What's his name? Ricky Dillon. And I can't think of the other dude's name. What's his name? Who? No, it's not Ricky Dillon. Kip.
Ricky Dillon, I know. I can't.
What's the little dude now? I can't think of his name either right now. But you knew it. It was like this symbiotic relationships. I modeled myself out to Scooter Braun. That's what I saw. When I come in anything, I'm not comparing myself to what's elite in that space. I'm comparing myself to what's elite.
Period.
What period?
Yeah.
Just period. So the best run management company I thought at the time was Urban Asoff and Scooter Braun. Urban Asoff is full stop. Scooter Braun had, SB projects. And that's what I believe was necessary in gospel. So I wanted to build this organization. So that's why I started hiring managers to work with me.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was the pathway to success.
I got a text. They say you never forget your first love. I told you I wanted us to live together.
And so during this time, we moving, the pandemic hit. My marketing, nobody's moving around.
Right.
So you got to find a way to make money.
Right.
Maverick was the only one still doing things, and I got lucky. There was a clubhouse where everybody was talking junk about Maverick. There was a clubhouse. All the execs was talking junk about Maverick because I didn't start Maverick. I bought into it, but I knew the kids. Chandler came from my church. Dante used to sing with Travis. Aaron Moses was our keys players. I knew the kids, and so I knew the owners because I met them in London. The way people were talking down on them and what they had done, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really thought that
it was unwarranted.
Beyond it was unwarranted, it was short-sighted.
Gotcha.
It was really short-sighted. If you were looking, like people look at now. So like people are looking at right now and they see gospel right now. I see it 5 years from now. Like not where it is, but where it's going. So you have to look at what is bubbling. And so what you saw under the surface bubbling was churches had stopped singing traditional gospel music.
Right.
And the churches that were growing were singing worship.
Okay. So
what I knew, because I had worked in the church, was that when we redo the big worship songs, like if you see Todd do It Again, that's an elevation song, or you see him do Goodness of God, it feels different than when Jen Johnson does it at Bethel, than when Chris Brown does it at Elevation. And so what I saw in Maverick was the perfect storm. You had black kids with, respectfully, white writers and producers. So they were training them not to oversing, to sing it, to be singable. And also they were making content during the pandemic when everybody wanted God. You know what I mean? And they were great songs.
He right. There wasn't bad songs. They were great songs. And around that time, they blowing up. We saw them, a group of them at a, and I knew it was something because they was at a Florida State prison, filming worship service as a music video with Kurt Franklin. And it was at a Florida State prison. Kingdom was at a Florida State prison. They had 2 different ones. And then it switched over to it was that one. They had a performance there, which was a video, like a music video. Then it was shot like, in a small, nice area, praise and worship. But their most viral one was Kingdom, and they was at a state prison having worship service with prisoners.
It wasn't like, we gonna get over it, we gonna get over it. They were making music that resonated with people because the reality is we didn't grow up like our parents.
Right.
I grew up with a two-parents household, both of my parents doctors. I don't know nothing about no struggle, no disrespect to anybody.
But your parents know the struggle. And that's why those songs was rooted. It wasn't just about struggle. Those songs had hidden meaning in those gospel hymns. Those hymns were actually hymns that was used. I'm going to have a whole live about how, because we got to educate, people don't know. When they hum like that and y'all pay attention to your grandparents humming, that wasn't just something, I got to get over. That was actually praying that they made it where they are and that the next generation could go further to carry the baton. So don't look at it as struggle. That was a thing of, I'm here, but I got to carry that for them to be something. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was so upset when, like, certain Christians didn't watch Sinners, because there's a hidden message about that him humming. Remember when Preacher Boy was humming and he was saying how he felt and he hummed? That was something they did on the cotton field and they was humming. And y'all gotta go watch the beginning of Sinners when she said, when my sister said, I'll never hum again, because she was like, that's what it attracts. I said, but you got to understand our culture and why the church is part of our culture. And that's why they trying to push it and push it back and erase like it never happened, because there's a meaning of a spiritual behind it. And there's a bit, and I'm going to do a live. I don't know if I want to do it. I might do it Saturday morning. I might do it Saturday afternoon. And I'm going to talk about how it goes deep. Why you wear white on the floor. Baby, it's a whole, what they've been trying to hide and trying to push. It's a whole thing behind that church. And that hymning. And that humming in them songs. It's deeper than what you think it is. It's very deep. Those the same humming that got you where you at now, sir. Don't ever forget that. It's deeper than that.
I ain't grew up on no food stamps in the hood. Yeah. So my kids can't relate to, like, the way Never Would Have Made It hit my grandma don't hit me the same way.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? The way it's different. We relate to a different story. We relate.
But you got to understand, your grandma wasn't free. Your grandma was still going through, she could be arrested in the back of a cop car today or tomorrow. We're not going through that, but y'all got to understand, they're trying to put us back to that, to instill fear now. You know what I'm saying? So to her, she probably cried when she hear that song, because look, her baby is married to a successful doctor. Look at where you at with your life. She made it. She made sure y'all made it where y'all at. That's why it means so much to her. People got to stop being so insensitive. And people like that try to erase the history of, I never struggled. Okay, you didn't struggle because your grandmother made sure you wasn't going to struggle.
To our struggles today, and I'm not speaking for everybody, I'm just speaking to the general young black kid. Our struggles today are more internal than they are external forces. Yes, there's still racism and all that stuff exists, but, we getting up going.
That's a lie. Everybody figuring out how to pay their bills. Everybody trying to figure out how to go eat and support their children. That is a lie. I am a millennial, and we have went through hell since 2005. Okay? It might be easy for you, but when you see that bill come in the mail, baby, it's still a damn. Ooh, you got to go deal with people you don't even like. You got to talk to folks you don't like to push their music. I don't like it, but damn. I told him more than that. That's just how it is. It's a lot. It's still a struggle. Some people have a struggle to get up out of bed. And it's not because of finances. It's because what's going on is messing with their mind. So just because you look good financially, don't mean you don't have an inner struggle either.
We, the bills is paid.
Right.
We got the cars. We got a song like
to some people.
Come on into Baymont, where you'll be greeted with a warm welcome, get a cozy room to rest up in.
Get off drugs. Stop doing alcohol.
If he dresses the lilies, it's like that.
You thinking of the song like it's finance. You got people struggling to figure out how to get out of something they never been in. It's not all about money. Like, come on, man. He got to come better than that.
Hey, God will keep me fly. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. Like now, it's like, promises, it's like those songs were resonating when it's rest on us. It's like, it's more about the presence of God. It's more vertical than it is horizontal.
Right.
And so what you got with Maverick was you got the type of music that was expanding and the best talent. And you put those two together, and I was like, shoot, the solo artist thing cool, but these jokers can fill arenas. I saw it then. I knew God had gave me this vision of worship music filling arenas, and I always thought it was going to be somehow, because the reality is, a lot of people don't know this. We were going to do a group called Undivided with Travis and Israel, and they were going to run it, and we were going to put these artists together very similar to Maverick.
Okay.
This was it's 2017. Maverick started in 2018.
Wow.
But we couldn't work it out for various reasons. But if you look in the notes in my phone, you'll see we had these names, and Chan was one of them. What's the dude name from Arizona? Oh my Lord, white worship leader. Can't think of his name. But the fact of the matter, what I'm saying it for is, God was putting collaboration in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And what you saw with Maverick is you saw this collaborative effort. You saw this thing.
They're doing what the music industry been doing, and they're pushing it. I was watching Jessie Boo cover this. Shout out to her, and she was like, "Should gospel singers get paid like regular entertainers? We know they go out. We know they do that, and I agree. Should they? I say yes, but at the same, because they're putting in that work, it being an entertainer. And my thing is this, I'm gonna be honest. When you in genuine music artists, I love genuine music artists. Okay, y'all know who I love. I can name a plethora of people from the 90s and 80s that I love. I've seen perform, gospel singers and all, seen perform. And he can't say gospel is overrated because Karen Clark Sheard has inspired the Clark sisters, Destiny Childs, SWV, Escape. That's how they got their record deal with a Clark sister song, and they put it on the album. The runs, all that stuff. They grew up in the church, right? Vocal trained. You can't say that. So you're basically saying, okay, they can make this money here. We can make them sell out arenas. Yeah, they can sell out arenas. But the reason why I like genuine music people that just say, I just want to sing, I just want to act and stuff like that, because it's a passion. They're not doing it for financial gain. They're doing it because they know their music helped somebody today. That helped them get through this and that. That's why they do it. They tell them that. So yes, there's something for them. And it's so sad to see how gospel was to help. And now it's just sell out arenas. If you want that, why don't you go to the rapper girls or the rappers that just want to sell out arenas and feel like it's a big thing now? Why don't you go there? Now I see why the era of artists that I grew up listening to, rappers, gospel including, has said it's just about streaming songs. It's not about putting an album out. It's not about putting a visual in art. It's just, let's put this song out for $99 to $2 and sell the album for $14.99 and see how many streams they get. All right, we're going to drop these little singles till we get the album. They can wait. It's no work in it. Nothing. Where is the creativity? Where is I want to do that? You know why? Because I know somebody gonna feel good today. Where is it? It's not there. It's not there. Just like going to some of these churches. Not all, but some of them, put the tithes in and have somewhere that we could teach the children to put some money here. What? And then some of these people call onto the church and they can't get help. So what is it? Finance? But then you got some of these pastors coming out, see somebody homeless, give them some food, pray for them, and worship, let them come in and worship. It's just like child, it's a mess. You got some pastors asking for private jets. Okay?
This ethos of we gonna disrupt this whole thing. Mm-hmm. And for me, the transition was I stopped working at the church. The pandemic had hit. Marketing was what I had. I owned all these cameras. I had this big company. We were doing marketing for Lifetime, BET, and all of this. And I basically just went. I was flying to Atlanta to meet with Tony and JJ. I ain't even telling the whole story the way it should go. So I'm gonna back up. We got a little time.
Yes, sir.
God dropped them on my heart in my $1 million.
You're not going to believe what happened. Tell me everything. I'll show you on Monday.com. So I started the biggest initiative.
I kissed the girl and now he made roar. He wrote. Max Martin is one of the most brilliant writers ever. He don't make music, bro.
Are you struggling with painful varicose veins? At United Vein and Vascular Centers, we specialize in innovative treatments to
he doesn't make music. I think that we get into because it's for God. We think everybody should do it, and making music isn't for everybody. Everybody's not meant to be an artist.
Right. That's true. Everybody's not meant to be an artist. That is true. We see it. We see it. We see it. Everybody not meant to be an artist. They don't, like what I just said, they don't put in the creativity with art as an artist anymore. It's just, let's drop this. It's no passion behind it. And that's why a lot of people and I'm gonna say this. I don't really deal or believe with that Illuminati mess, because the reason I say that is because you have to be a person. YouTube is something with creative, right? We got to come up with content to get y'all attention and have an engagement. You have to be somebody who can get up on stage and capture millions of people and still keep that momentum. I cannot say that is Illuminati. That is creativity. That is season in the game. Baby, you got to understand the game to know what to do in the game. And that's where it comes off at. Majority of these artists that's been in the game and have blew up and become iconic or legendary, they don't even care about the dollars anymore. They just care about being creative. That's when they feel free. That's when they feel like I can breathe. I can tell y'all who I am and show you, and you get it. That's like going to a job, you a stay-at-home mom, but you like going to work or going outside to talk to other adults, because that's what dropped it. You can let that low. That's what it is for them. I can take you in my thoughts and my brain and how I create, and you're here. Most artists are lazy performers, and I'm still not understanding how half of y'all pay the money. Baby, let me tell you something. I have a list of people I will go see and pay my money for. I want entertainment. That's what I came for. I want to see how you put this together. That's why they're the greatest artists of all time. It's a list of them, because they just pour. Music is their diary. Creativity, the videos, everything is right there. They pour it out. Why you think everybody begging Rihanna to come back out? Why? Come on, let's be for real. Why you think Beyonce, where she at? Chris Brown, Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, Prince, Patti LaBelle, Mariah Carey, Money Long, Kalani, who is really getting into her creative bag. Mariah the Scientist is starting to open up. The Clark sisters been doing that. They keep Era Sherrod. Creativity in her videos. It's more to it than just putting out music.
And so we have a oversaturation of music. Most of it,
and Mary,
it's not good, respectfully, and people don't know how to market their music. And so when you have that, you get into a glut of what we see right now. There's apathy. I don't know how many people in here even listen to gospel music. You know what I'm saying? And this is just what it is.
All right. To gospel music. Like I said, he's just looking at the market. I mean, he had a good marketing strategy with Maverick City. I taught my big ish too. You know what I'm saying? The Maverick City blew up within a year. I give that. But CMM is different music. And people relate to that too. But here is where people are starting to have a problem. Gospel music is about soul. We've noticed that when it came to oh my God, why my mind went blank? You know what? Let me look it up. Oh Jesus, I gotta say God forgive me for that. And to this person too. That is the Little Richard. No longer here. May he rest in peace. Little Richard. He got and Ray Charles. Yeah, they got Stevie Wonder, who was absolutely amazing. They got ridiculed for their song sounded so gospel back then. Blues and mixing with church music and gospel and him. They, you know what I'm saying? They got backlash for that. If you listen to some of their songs, Big Mama Thornton, may she rest in peace. Hound Dog, if you pay attention to Hound Dog, in certain, pay attention to it, it's there. Certain artists are still doing runs in their songs. It's still part of it. So, but yeah, they got backlash for this. And I'm gonna tell you what Isaac Correa had to say. Because he got some backlash for it too. I spelled that name wrong. For this interview. Okay, so there was some comment debates, and we're gonna get into it. Come on now. It's been a very huge topic. Y'all know TikTok is in shambles about it. And okay. Let's see. So these are what the users wrote, and we're gonna get into that. Let me share my screen because I want y'all to see, and then we're gonna get into another one. It's starting a lot of controversy. So one user wrote, "This is about nitpicking CCM artists. This about anti-blackness at its core. Gospel music has gotten my people through bondage since we landed on these shores. It is not just music for us, it's woven into the fabric of our being." Another person said, "Black church and black church music has got me through every battle in my life. We criticize it because we truly love it, and this wasn't that. This was complete disrespect of our religious tradition." Okay. Others defended Norman viewpoint on gospel music is data driven. It's difficult to say he doesn't care about gospel music when over the last few years, all successful gospel tours were built under him. Okay. So this is what Naomi said, who is with Maverick City Music. She is one of the vocalists, and she has something to say about this. She said, "I can sleep at night knowing that when it comes to the content of our worship and our songs, it had always been pure and released with the intent to glorify God." That's what she wrote. And then she also said, it was also said this, hold on. Rain also pushed back on the idea that Maverick had distanced itself from the gospel music, saying that the collective roots has always honored its roots. So she still went, what she said some more. Continue reading. "From the beginning, Maverick has been unapologetically committed to the advancement and celebration of gospel music and black people," she wrote. "We stood for black lives, even when some fans unfollowed us and attended lead worship at marches and used our platform to speak up when it wasn't popular." That is true. If you pay attention to how she sang, how someone else sang, she tried to, and they did stand up for the Black Lives Matter movement. They did say they had some opinions, great opinions for, what happened to George Floyd and everyone else. So she's not lying, but we're going to continue to say, because she says she don't agree. She's basically saying, listen, I don't agree with that, what he said, because I know what we do. I get on that stage every day. People tell me how I make them feel good. People tell me they love my song. People tell me my song helped heal them. I'm not agreeing with him. Okay? She said she ain't agreeing with that. She also said, "I deeply vow," she ain't agree. She said, I deeply value the evolution of gospel music sound and space that's happening. I pray that as things continue to shift and grow, we never lose the essence of what makes gospel music powerful. Maverick City Music has not issued a formal statement on the interview, and there's no responses. Okay, let me go back. Let me stop sharing, and I want to read what the person, what Isaac had to say as well about his interview with him. Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up, because he did say something. A lot of people was disappointed. I did want to read the comments, but I'm trying to, let's see if he got it on his thing. Because someone said that Isaac said something about it. Let me go to his Instagram. Oh, well, he took that down. Let's go to the comments on the video. Okay. Let's see if I can go to the comments. All right. And we're going to read what some people had to say. Isaac did say something, but he was, from what I'm hearing, he was downplaying a lot of things. And Kurt Franklin kind of said there's some truth to, where gospel artists, he didn't get paid for some of his work back then. And he had a #1 album, and people had to educate him on having rights to his music. So we're going to say, everybody want to say the industry is such dark. Let's say that the gospel industry is the same as the entertainment industry, Hollywood, and it can get dark with copyrights, with music, copyright ownership, managers working extra hard, not getting, it's the same thing. The only thing is there's worship. It's the same thing. Judge, it's the same thing. We're not going to act like it's not, okay? So let's be honest. They go through the same thing. And that's why they have, they might not like secular music because of the things they have to do. But at the same time, when it comes to the business, it's the same as armed entertainers. It's the same thing. And they have to fight harder. Okay? What I've learned is that you can say and sprinkle God's name in any convo, and it still doesn't mean you have a relationship with God. From a business perspective, this was genius. From a spiritual perspective, this is dangerous. Even though each generation's struggles are different, the older gospel songs and hymns still resonate because they have foundation in Scripture. Guys like this is the reason why gospel industry is the way it is. It's about the profit more than putting butts in the kingdom. I promise you, if gospel artists focus on what Father wants out of their music, he will make them well off financially, but not their heart. Wrong interviewer. He's so happy to be on the show, he didn't challenge any of the questions he said from a Christian's perspective. Traditional music will never die. Mississippi Mass, Georgia Mass, etc. will always set it off. It's only about 10 minutes, and I'm really aggravated. This would have been like an interview. Norman is definitely a strong drinker. He doesn't mince his words. I see why he prefers to work behind the scenes. However, I think his view of gospel music is skewed and potentially biased due to his preference and his scopes of the industry. I'm really glad for this interview because now we know what's driving decisions for music. We consume and motives behind their decisions and the other priorities of other producers. It's not about God, or at least he's not the center of their music, and I'm glad that the architects themselves are pulling back the veil. And a lot of people would rather see the truth than the false, because we're always been told that secular music was bad. Being in Hollywood is horrible. But now people are understanding under the veil that even a gospel industry is the same as Hollywood. And a lot of people are starting to see that, especially, CMM or CCM is the same. But to be honest, it really is the same. To me, yeah, he had a great strategy, but he's doing the moves like he would with an R&B artist. And like I said before, he's worked with Tamar Braxton and other R&B artists. So you have to understand the formula and what's being pushed for sales and what's being pushed for things to be put out there. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Did you agree? Do you disagree? Do you feel like they're trying to push certain things that's for us that we got over and push it out the way and push it into another direction? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great Friday Eve. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about Chantel Christie. We're going to do a reaction on her interview with Carlos King tomorrow. We're going to do it in the evening time. Oh, before I leave, I will be coming here Fridays, starting next Friday in the morning. Saturday's night live is still going to be the same. Sunday, you probably get a live from me for sure. My work schedule has changed, so you have all of me to yourselves. So yes, be ready for tomorrow. We're going to do our reaction on Chantel Christie and Carlos King. Hopefully he says yes, because I asked permission. because I want him to strike me. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And please be respectful. Thank you. Later.